Hello, everyone. Hope everyone had a fabulous Christmas. Um, that you got things that you wanted, or money to get things you wanted, or that no one had any major disasters or anything. Mine was relatively quiet, which is generally my preference. Um, didn't get to see Into the Woods like I wanted to. Hopefully tomorrow, but we did go see Annie, which was a lot better than I expected it to be. A lot better. Granted, I had super low expectations, so law of diminishing returns says that I shouldn't have to worry about it exceeding those expectations, but I think it even went beyond where I could have possibly thought it would exceed. I still prefer the 1999 TV version in terms of capturing the show. Um, Although really all three have good points. I mean, this most recent one is really just pure fluffy entertainment, but it does what it sets out to do. The 99 one gets most of the score and has overall a better cast than the 82, but the 82 captures the feel of the comic strip better than either the show or the 1999 version. But you didn't tune in today for my dissertation on Annie, and believe me, I could give you one. You're here to see what all I possibly got for Christmas. Now, I still have a gift card to spend online that a friend got me. There's not a lot on it, so I'm not too worried. But blah, blah, blah. But I did get some money for Christmas, a couple of gift cards. So I went this morning to my local nail shop store, which I have their card because it's super fancy. It's the Stitch Niche. Apparently they offer classes. I had no clue. Well, there we go. Stitch Niche offers classes because they were having a sale. And I wanted to go ahead and try and kit some stuff up for the next year. Now, I've got a fair amount of things sort of together now. It does not mean that I won't be going there again through the course of the year, because I'm sure I will. But I got a fair amount of stuff to go. So the first thing I did was I got my embellishment pack for Anna, my Mirabilia. And it came with... I'm ripping this. I should have done this beforehand. Oh, come on. Seriously? Okay. That was an attractive face that I just made. It's got all the beads together that I need for Mirabilia, for this project, which is nice. I think, honestly, it probably costs a little bit more to do it that way. But for the fact that I didn't have to go searching through, meh. So it's got several glass beads, little seed beads, 2 purples, and 2 oranges, as well as 3 crystal treasures, a gold, a pink, and sort of a reddy purple. So those are all I need. So now she's basically kitted up and totally ready to go. We'll potentially start on her at some point soon. I got more of my cardboard bobbins with no labels. I got 4 packages, and I'm not really sure how many's in a package, but I got 4 of them. And no, I didn't clean them out. They still had several packages left, but I did get a fair amount of them. I got part 2 of the Lizzie Kate Things Unseen sampler. I'm still not finished with part 1. I don't know if I said this in my last video or not, but I accidentally left one of the colors at my grandmother's when I was working on it last. I've done, I think, more since I did it. And unfortunately, it features super heavy in part 1. And since I didn't just want to work on border, I kind of left it alone. So I have that color back now, and I will go back to that here shortly. It also Part 2 comes with a little rickrack trim for one of its bonuses. So there's that loveliness. So Lizzie Case Part 2. I also got 2 new charts. I'm not generally a fan of super religious looking things, or the very traditional, I don't want to say Amish, because Amish isn't really the right word, but the more traditional samplers, the pastorally things. But there are 2 by Plum Street that are from the Book of Genesis that are hanging in my local noodle shop, and they're both just stunning. I mean, they're really, really pretty. So I got just the chart for one, and then I got the chart, fabric, and specialty threads for the other. The one I got most of it for was Paradise Lost, and it's the Garden of Eden, and you've got Adam and Eve in the center, and the serpent, and some angels, and it says, "What is this that thou hast done? Ye shall not surely die. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field." So it's pretty cool, and it had 3 specialty threads from Gloriana. There's Coffee Bean, which is sort of a brown color, Elizabethan Green, which is a green, and Schoolhouse Red. So I got all 3 of those. So, yes, I've never used Gloriana, so I'm kind of excited for that. And I'll show the fabrics in a moment. So I got that chart. I also got its companion piece, which is the Flood, and it's Noah's Ark. And it says, "The end of all flesh is come before me. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth." So, and it's got raindrops, and zebras, and elephants, and kangaroos, and things of that ilk. So, it's pretty involved. They're all actually pretty involved, but I'm real excited to do both of them. So I got the fabric for Paradise Lost. It is 36 count. I believe this was the Weeks Dyed Works parchment, sort of a cream color. So I got that for it. And I've got to sit down and figure out which DMC colors I have and which ones I need to get. I bought, and the pattern's not here yet, but I did go ahead and get my fabric for one from Soda Stitch called In the Fairy Tales book. And it's actually going to only be on about, I think, half of this. But it's on a light ash gray by Zweigart. It's 32 count. And that's the one that A Stitch in Time and my friend Kemi are going to be doing. We're going to be doing those, and we're going to start that in February. Partially to give us time to get the chart from Indonesia, and partially because we had a lot of things starting in January, but more to come on my plan for the year. I got the fabric for Frosted Pumpkins Storytime, as well as I had most of the Flossword. I just needed 2, so I needed the Weeks Dyed Works Seafoam and Chablis. And I decided I didn't really like the look of Storm, and I can do a floss toss and fix colors, and if it's anything like Once Upon a Time, I'm probably going to do a lot of editing on it. So I went with this one, which is another Zweigart. It is the Petite Point navy blue with white polka dots, because I thought since they were doing classic literature like Alice in Wonderland and Sherlock Holmes, that this looked library-ish to me. So that's what I'm doing it on. I'm super excited. And then I got the fabric for Blue Jeans and Daisies, which is the Blue Ribbons design. This is on Weeks Dyed Work Blue Jeans, excuse me. And it's 30 count. And that one I still have to get the DMC for. I basically only bought like specialty threads and such that I needed. I needed more whitewash to finish up Poe's Moon on Master and the Macabre, because I ran out. For Once Upon a Time, I bought a blue. I'd been wanting a silk and going on and on and on. Stitch in Time can tell you, I don't know if Heather's on FlossTube, but if Heather's not on FlossTube, I went on and on about it with Heather, about how I wanted a blue silk, and I wanted it to be, because I wanted the water to look shiny, and I wanted it to be variegated, and I wanted it to really look like water, and blah, 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 blah. So I just ended up getting a Weeks Dyed Work silk. Yeah, because I found it was the perfect color. I'm like, you know what, screw it, don't worry about the silk anymore. So there we go. I also got the remaining colors that I needed for the Four Seasons from Lizzie Kate that Kimmy sent me. One of them I had, but I wasn't sure I had enough of, and that was Grits. Another one is Oscar, which is really heavily used in the Lizzie Kate, so I wanted to have a second one just in case I needed it. But then I needed one called Bayberry, which is very pretty. One that's called Gold, which obviously. And one called Collards, which looks actually better than any colored greens I've ever seen. Not a big collards greens person at all. Update-wise, I don't really have a lot in terms of works in progress that I've completely finished. I'm still working on the Goldilocks block on Once Upon a Time. I've got it, I'd say about a third of the way done, maybe half of the way done. I have the bulk of I've got most of Papa Bear done, and then I've got to do the Two Bears and Goldilocks. And then my detail work. So I'm probably about a third, maybe half of the way. So I do, however, have my handy-dandy notebook that will tell me what we're going to talk about next. And then I also have a remind me, because you can totally respond to me in the middle of a video and I can actually hear the response. Remind me to come back to an idea I have in a moment. I'm in a group of friends and I have set up several different stitch-alongs for the year. And so what I do is I made a list of current projects I want to start, and which ones can possibly fill into the stitch-alongs and which ones aren't. So current project-wise, what I have running is the Once Upon a Time story time, which technically hasn't started, but I have the stuff for it, so it's current. The Thomas Kinkade Mermaid, Master and the Macabre, Wizard of Oz, which is the Leslie Cheer one, Follow the Yellow Brick Road, which is the awful one that I told a friend I'd do, and I'm determined I will do this year, and then Things Unseen. Projects to start, Blue Ribbon Designs, Blue Jeans and Daisies, the Soda Stitch in the Fairy Tales book, the coffee sampler that Stitch in Time gave me. I'll probably work the frog sampler in that Amber gave me. I have the coffee and Halloween ornaments. One was from Kimmy, one was from Angie. I have my Oz Heaven and Earth Designs and my Lizzie Kate Four Seasons, which those are ready to go. The Heaven and Earth Designs has me really intimidated, so I don't know when I'm going to start that. I have to get my nerve up still. There's a lot of little symbols. I feel a little overwhelmed by it, but I will figure it out. I also have the stuff to do the Freedom black work, which I think that's from Siba Designs. I don't remember now at this point. When I actually start working on it, we'll do a little bit more on that. This is more casual of, oh, this is what I'm planning. So the stitch-alongs that we have planned, one is a new finish, which is where I finished one I've already done. So my plan is to try and finish Once Upon a Time. I feel fairly confident I can. I've got 5.5 blocks left and the rest of the border, and then it's done. So I feel like I can probably finish that before the end of January. If not, then either Oz or Poe. I don't think I'm going to get that far on Poe. I think the setback of the moon is going to keep me from getting that one done. But we'll see. I've kind of wanted. I'll come back to that in a bit. And then I have my Frosted Pumpkin one, which starts on January 15th. Then in February, we have a Something Beaded stitch along. So we had to do something that had beads in it. So I'm either going to do the Coffee or the Halloween. I might do the Mirabilia, but as of now, probably just Coffee or Halloween. I also have all the stuff to do the Joan Elliott Cinderella, so I might do that. We'll see. March is a unfinished object work in progress, a UFO whip. I will be doing the Fall of the Yellow Brick Road one definitely in March, because it's one of those. It's really not that involved in terms of what all I have to do to it to get it stitched. It's just, for whatever reason, it is the albatross around my neck, for all you lit people out there, or my scarlet letter, if you will. In April, we're having a sampler month, so I think I'm going to try to do the Four Seasons one or Paradise Lost in that month. Which, I want to disclaim, I'm not planning to start and finish those in that month. It's just those are going to be my primary focus for that month. May is a big-ass project, and that'll probably be Mermaid. In June, we're doing a fantasy theme. I will probably work more on the Leslie Tier Oz, because I really love that one. I just am kind of dreading all of the big stretches of blue and green. In July, we're doing a Christmas ornament exchange, and I will not reveal what I'm doing. Not because I don't know, but because I want it to be a surprise. August is a Mirabilia stitch along, so if I haven't finished Anna by then, it'll be Anna. If not, then I guess I'll find another one to do. And then October is Halloween. I don't currently have anything Halloween, I think, that I haven't already finished. But I'm sure I will find something. Or something that I can lie and say is Halloweenish. So those are my plans as of now. I know some people have said, well, how do you do all these works in progress when you've got multiples? I work kind of in two ways. One is I sort of break them up into sections that I consider finishes. So, for instance, on like the Once Upon a Time, each block is I consider a finish. So after I finish a block, I can move to something different. In the case of Poe, right now it's in sections. So the tower was one section. The moon and the rest and the writing is all a section. The big roof is going to be a section. The house will probably be a section, and then the windows will be their own, I don't want to say individual section, but they'll be like together, the three. And then the final writing will be one, and then the inkwell and the raven will be one. So it's like I sort of pick sections, and when I finish that section, then I move on to something else. And the way I move on to something else is I kind of walk in, go, what do I want to work on? I want to work on you. Boink. And that's it. Yeah. Very complicated system. Very complicated. If I want to work on it, I work on it. If I don't want to work on it, I don't work on it. Alright, so the other idea I had, and this is one one of the things that I am always bothered by in non-floss tube videos is when people are like, leave me a shout out in the comments. Because it's just like, I feel like you're pandering. I feel like you're begging people to give you attention. I don't necessarily want that. What I do want, though, and so I am asking this time for comments, I would really like some feedback on an idea I've had. Because, like with my Once Upon a Time and with some other things, right now on my Facebook page, I have a photo album of my completed projects with just like which fabric I used, what type of floss I used, and then sort of a few notes if I made changes, but nothing too specific. Why did my screen just go black? What the hell just happened? Why did it log me out? I really hope this is still filming. Okay, it's still filming. Hi. Thank you for putting up with me during the technical difficulty that I'm going to be forced to leave in because I don't want to babble for 20 minutes over again. So, anyhow, so back to that. So, Facebook, pictures, list of description, minor change discussion. But I never get into anything super, super specific on it, largely because it's just there. And I have my notebook that started out really nice and organized, but as you can see, I at the time thought, oh, I'm only going to be doing minor changes to things, and this is all right here. That's all changes that I've made once upon a time. And I also, which these I wouldn't be able to post because it would be a copyright violation, but like I also have to chart out the changes that I make to help me visualize. So what I was thinking about doing was creating a blog where that way I could actually have more detailed, like, okay, so for instance on the like overall on Frosted Pumpkin, the Once Upon a Time, because of the fabric I chose, I changed all of the grass to 320 from, I think it's 731. So listing those changes, like giving a little more specifics, going to some of my discussion on, I made these changes and this is why, and things like that. So does that sound interesting to anybody? If it's just me, then I can just keep working in this notebook, and that's no problem. But I would kind of like to have a way of pointing out this is what I did, having a good record of it. So if that sounds interesting to people, or if people would actually read that, or if you just think that I'm stupid and should stop, just feedback would be appreciated. So anyhow, that's all I have for today. Next time I will have works in progress to show you. So hope everyone had a Merry Christmas, and I'll see y'all soon.